Hello everyone and welcome back to Renowned Explorers International Society, The Emperor's Challenge, where we are on our way on another expedition, and I'm very excited for this one. This is a Expert Athlete and Gold Collector Challenge, which is one of the combos I really like, and it's because I think I've found a really good team that works for it. And I've run a similar team to this before, but this has a few changes in it that I think you're going to like. I hope so, at least. So this is the perfect time to drag out, and actually you can already see her buff up here from when I was messing around before I started recording, for Dolores to be our captain. Nope, captain. Go up here. There we go. Dolores. Very good. Dolores' captain perk is incredible. 5 extra status from every collect token, and the bonus improves whenever she succeeds on the adventure wheel. It's insane. It's an amazing captain perk. I did not respect it nearly as much as I should have the first time I saw it, but after 1 or 2 times playing with it, I realized just how insane that is. 5 status from a token is a lot, and you can manage to get quite a few collect tokens with this team comp that I'm going to run. So, let's talk about some of the other things Dolores can do. Tournament training, extra collect for each level of athlete in your crew, and we have expert athletes, so we're going to have a very, very high level athlete, probably level 6 or 7 by the time we're done. And she gets Ultimate Athlete, plus 2 collect and plus 2 study for each level of athlete of your highest level athlete, and it doubles if you are higher than level 5. That's really good. It's like 20 collect and study if you're a level 5 athlete. 24 if you're level 6, so on and so forth. That's a lot. And Dodgeball's just kind of nice. It's not one I'm going for in this particular run. Who do we pair Dolores with? Well, I like to pair her with Harry. I also like to pair her with Min Young if you're going devious, but first, for the same reason, we'll get into why. So Harry, Orphan Child, Underdog, gain 1 to 2 status from Collect every time Harry succeeds on a Rogue or Beguiler spin. Min Young has a very similar one here. Gain 1 to 2 status from Study every time Min Young succeeds on an Archaeologist or Diplomat challenge. She has the same idea, but for Study, right? So she's good with, like, Anna. But Harry matches up really well with Dolores. Not only do you get that plus 5 status from Collect to begin with, but then every time either one of them succeeds on the adventure wheel, that amount of status you get goes up. And in some of my runs previous to this, where I've taken both of these two, I end up getting more status than gold sometimes from my Collect tokens, which is kind of funny. But Harry also has a couple other things that make him insane with Dolores. Master Thief. Level 3 rogues gain plus 4 collect every time he succeeds on the wheel. So not only does he add campaign to all his collect tokens, but he gets some collect tokens just for succeeding, which is nice. And Lucky Gold, 25% extra gold from collect and treasure hunt. That just stacks on top of everything else, right? We're going to get a bunch of collects, we're going to get a lot of status from them, and then we're going to get more gold than usual anyway. It's really good. So who am I going to finish off with? Not Bia, but Molly. Why Molly? Well, mostly for this competitive streak. This campfire story gives you Molly starts another wager with a crew member, gain 30 collect. Now what this card doesn't tell you is she will also gain small amounts of collect randomly over the course of her future expedition. So the earlier you can get this, the more gold you will start gaining from it. It works really well. But the beauty of this team comp is that if you end up pulling it late, normally you'd be upset about that, but in this case you're not, because you've had time for hopefully Harry's captain's or Harry's campfire story and Dolores' crew perk to stack up and make those collect tokens you get from competitive streak even more valuable. So if you get it early, cool, 30 gold's a lot early on. If you get it late, awesome, you get a bunch of campaign with it that you've been stacking up all this time. And even if you pull this card on the very first expedition, you still get 5 campaign or 5 status per 30 collect. So you're already getting, over 100 status right there just from this card. In addition to that, which is a lot in the early game. That's really nice on your first expedition if you can get it. So Saxon Kings. I'm very excited to do this because we were missing 2 treasures from Saxon Kings, and I really want to try to get them. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll see how this whole thing goes. I'm also like the fact that Master Thief gets removed here. It's a double with Harry. This just thins our deck, right? In any sort of deck building game, we talked about this a lot on Space Food Truck back when I was doing that series. Thinning your deck means that you can pull the cards you want more reliably. And in this case, we really wanted these 3 cards as fast as possible. These 2, really, and this one's nice. Now, the advantage that Dolores has, that we didn't talk about with tournament training, because it isn't just a throwaway card, it's a great card. She will start to teach all the other members of her party levels of athlete. And if you get this early, then each crew member will learn 2 or 3 levels of athlete by the time you finish. And while that doesn't matter for expert athlete, because that only applies to... Expert athlete is only a single athlete, as opposed to the party. But it does apply to ultimate athlete. This is... Oh, no, never mind, it doesn't. I take that back. This is each level athlete of your highest level athlete. Never mind, I take it all back. Dolores would be better with tournament training for a challenge that had the challenge that means your whole party has to like stack up as many athlete levels as possible. She would be better for that because she does teach all her party members athlete levels. But I'm really taking her here for Wrestling Star. That's really what she's here for. And Ultimate Athlete is not a bad bonus on top of it. All right. Yeah, enough about that. Now, one thing that this is unfortunate for is we are doubling up on the rogues, right? We have 2 level 2 rogues, which is not obviously ideal. And I'm not thrilled about it, but I'm too attached to Competitive Streak and Orphan Child to give up one of them. If I was going to give up one of them, it would probably be Competitive Streak. And if I was going to do that, who would I take instead? I don't know. Could be Kiwi, but that's not that great. Bio is okay if you want secrets, but we don't really want them in this case. I mean, Victor's fine, but not great. There really aren't that many other options that just scream, this is amazing for gold. So yeah, I think it's just there's Earl, I should say. There's Earl, and he's decent, but he needs to get discoveries, and he doesn't, so it's not as good. Yeah, I don't want to take Ivan. Han Pete is better for campaign. Wing Yu doesn't help gold at all. Yeah, you're really limited other than that if you're just trying to stack pure gold. Charles isn't bad. Charles can do extra treasure hunts, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I can see the argument there, but he's really better devious than aggressive. You could take Hattis, I guess. You could take Harry and Hattis. You know, Merchant Family is definitely not bad. Plus 2 collectibles, spending insight. Okay. Extra stories isn't that great. Tech experiment is okay if you have an engineer. Which Hattis is one, or can learn it, so that's fine. Yeah, there's definitely an argument for going with this instead. You're not going to get nearly as much gold from Merchant Family as you would from Competitive Wager from Molly. Attack Experiment is nice. It doesn't have the comment like Ultimate Athlete, where the bonus doubles when she gets to level 5, which is unfortunate, so it's never going to be as good as Ultimate Athlete by a long shot. Yeah, I could see the argument for taking Hattis instead, but Molly's just so much better for getting lots of gold. Lots of gold really quickly. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Enough talk about that. Our normal settings, of course, we are taking adventure mode, we're doing classic, and we're going to start with the Saxon Kings. Let's see what happens. Alright, we're not going to go to meet the Emperor. We don't need this tutorial. Very good. And let's get on our way. We don't need the supplies yet, so we'll wait for a second before we grab those. Instead, we're going to go fight some random dudes. The random dudes have decided that we are on their territory, and they don't like it. That pretty much describes the entire animal world, including humanity, doesn't it? I mean, basically every problem... Well, I'm not going to say every problem, because I haven't thought about it long enough to actually test in my mind if that is true or not. And I don't really want to take the time to think about it right now and see if it's right or not. But it seems like a large proportion, let's say that, a large proportion of problems in the world, both animal, plant, fungi, human, you know, I know humans are under animals, don't you interrupt me, are caused by territorial issues, right? I mean, probably I'm trying to think about it, just very quickly. Probably the vast majority of issues that at least animals have with each other are territorial in nature. That could be territorial in terms of actually just pure ground, or it could be territorial in terms of food resources, mate resources, you know, home resources. Take your pick, but it's all territory, right? It's all arguing over stuff. and I think it would be easy to argue that most of humanity's problems probably stem from a very similar thing. Either you want someone's land, or you want their wealth, or you want their people, or you know, going back in history. Probably the other, if you're going to be as simple as possible, you could probably say the majority of problems are caused by territory disputes, and the rest of them are caused by religious disputes, and pretty much stop there. Or maybe not religious, but intellectual. Everything's either territorial or intellectual differences. Alright, let's go grab these supplies. And, hey, a technique challenge. That should be good for us. We do have a rogue. Actually, it looks like this is going to be better for an engineer. We'll see. Nope, rogues are good. Okay. Harry finds a hidden safe. Sure. And we got some money. Alright, and there is our campfire. Let's see what we get. Okay, good. We got Orphan Child really early. That's great. We're going to grab that so we can start gaining that 1 to 2 status on Collect as soon as possible. And we've got to keep in mind that if we have an option, and we will, if we have an option, we need to use Harry for rogue spins rather than Molly. We're going to take Molly in a different direction. We'll try to teach her something else. Now, she does have Athlete, of course, which is awkward. I know. But we're going to take Molly in some other direction. It'll be like archaeologist or tactician, probably tactician or something interesting, or maybe even engineer, so we can do technique challenges really well. We'll specialize her in that, in something else, and then we'll take Harry down the rogue and beguiler path so you can get that underdog level up as much as possible. Okay, some sheep. Let's fight them. Yes, definitely. Again, our territory. We want to inspect that grass. Again, we get some study for it too, which is nice. We'll just start working here. Now, as you probably figured out from the team comp in general, you know what? Actually, I take it back. There's probably rationale for arguing that I could have been going aggressive or devious. I was going to say it's probably pretty obvious I'm going aggressive, but actually all 3 of these party members are decent devious. Especially Dolores is really good with her AoE, and Molly is not too shabby with a devious either. And Harry's good at everything. Harry has a good primary friendly, devious, and aggressive attack, which is unusual. But I was going to go aggressive. It doesn't really matter for treasures, unlike usual, because I've actually gotten the gold trophy unlock at Shangri-La for all 3 attitudes. So it doesn't matter. I haven't even decided where I'm going to go for my final destination. I don't know. My main hope for getting something new in this run is to go to Anagargic Archipelago and get one of the treasures there I'm missing, because I'm missing several. Or, alternatively... yeah, okay. Or alternatively, go to get one of the treasures from the Saxon Kings. Those are my 2 main ideas for getting a new treasure. Oh, a mining drill, or machine drill. Someone can gain engineer steam engines, and we just talked about teaching Molly engineer perks, so let's definitely do that. And she's gonna fail at this, but that's fine. I'm not concerned. She'll still learn from it. You know, every failure is a chance to learn something, right? There she goes. She's now an expert in steam engines from failing once. That's pretty impressive. An abandoned shack? Sure. And some jewelry. We'll take it. Let's head up here. A Saxon castle. All right. A courtyard with a smaller gate. We'll see what's inside that. And the castle entrance. You see all kinds of Saxon decorations. Okay, okay, trying to remember. The treasure we are missing from this area is in the catacombs. I have it written down here on a sticky note. I just have to find it. So we want to find the catacombs if we can. Oh, 30%. That is not good, but we will do our best because this is our chance to get a new treasure. Oh, no. Ah, we failed. Very sad. So we're just going to go randomly. And we have a 33% chance of still getting the catacombs. So we'll just hope. There we go. The royal catacombs. And we got the princess skull. That's not new. I've had that. Huh. I had written down that the catacombs is where the treasure I was missing was, but that does not appear to be it. Interesting. I'm gonna take the gold just for the gold collector perk, if nothing else. I will check on that after this recording session. When I get back out into the main menu before I go off to do some more things, I will check that treasure tracker, because I was pretty sure that was supposed to be a new item for me, and that definitely wasn't it. Oh, Dolores can participate in some rugby training. Very nice. Yeah, we'll do that. Show them what you got, Dolores. Okay, good job. You scared me for a minute there. Tripped a little bit, but you recovered. And we're out of supplies, and Harry loses some speech power, which we're not concerned about because we are going aggressive. Oh, we need your opinion. We're discussing what the best ways to solve problems, speech or physical attacks. Definitely physical attacks, and we're going to give it to Harry because Harry has gotten his physical AoE, and he just lost some attack power. Okay, well, I mean, never mind. Moving on. 2 thieves running from an angry mob. You know what? We're just gonna take the bribe because we're terrible people. You take the bribe and let the thieves pass. The angry mob asks if you've seen 2 thieves passing by, and you point them in the wrong direction. Dolores tells the others that hitting them in the face would have been much more satisfying. She's not wrong. And Molly loses some armor. Okay, one more node, and then we will go to the end here. You walk along a hill path and come across a crossroad. The paths sometimes contain ancient Saxon tools, which you take with you. Okay. When you arrive at the next hill, you look back at the hill with the strange paths and are astonished to see that the crossroads and sideways were actually a giant Saxon hill carving. What a sight and what a story. Very nice. And Harry loses some speech defense. I think Harry's gotten almost all of our debuffs. Yes, he has. Poor Harry. Oh well. Here we go, the burial site. And who's Rivalo going to send at us today? We worked hard. Yes, yada yada. Lot of blunder. Okay, Tommy. Alright, cool. Tommy prefers it if you are friendly, but he does not mind overly much if you are aggressive. He thinks that's impressive. So no big deal. I could always just walk right up here and just piercing shot right away. But I should probably get a little bit more efficiency out of it. I'm just going to clear off these 2, I think. I'm tempted to use piercing shot on these 2, but let's move forward instead. Here, and we can barely hit both of them from that angle, which is perfect. And we'll just beat up on Tommy next turn and ignore those 2 goons that are behind us. I'm not really concerned about them. That was decent damage from Tommy, though, and she's going to take at least 1 more attack. So maybe I should have been a little concerned. Here, we're not in endgame yet. Yeah, actually, Molly's going to go down. That's kind of sad. That was just me being sloppy. Very sloppy. I mean, we should probably just take out these 2 guys. We did get punished for being sloppy. So we should probably stop doing that. There we go. We've cleaned out everyone. In the end, we probably will not miss that one resolve. Hide Harry behind the hill here, and start working on Tommy. Go ahead and res Molly. That'll give Dolores a lot of defenses if he decides to go after her. And we can actually flank and shank here, which will lower Tommy's armor a little bit. His armor is now down to 10, which is a lot better. And should make finishing him off this turn a very easy proposition. There we go. And yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think I'm going to take Molly in an engineer direction. That will mean that we can go do any technique challenges we want to, which should be helpful. And engineer and rogue challenges tend to award gold, which is nice. Alright, take this gold and this checklist. Very nice, thank you. And everyone gets at 1 attack permanently, which is okay. Okay, what do we got? 1 hidden in the Tomb of the Forgotten King, 1 treasure held by the locals, and 1 near the dangerous cliffs. I would like the one in the tomb. It's a sword, and it tends to be good for aggressive teams, but we don't have much of a chance of getting it, which is kind of sad. Alternatively, the one on the dangerous cliffs is okay too, and we do have a 100% chance for that, so let's do that. And we got the sword anyway. Wow, that was very lucky for us. +1 collect for each level of athlete in your crew would be very nice. Or +1 encounter. Ooh, well, we probably want to collect, right? I mean, encounters are slightly better now, but they may not be better as we go. So we'll do the collect. Okay. Especially if we start getting some helper entourages and stuff, our collect tokens will probably fairly quickly become better than our encounter tokens, especially with the underdog perk working on them, and Dolores' captain perk. And we did get 2 collect from it right there as well, which is kind of nice. Just to start off. 31 gold. Very good. Very small amount of research, unfortunately. That is going to be our pain in this run, is low amounts of study. Okay, we won't go see the Emperor. We don't need to. And we will grab our membership badge. And let's take a look at those research papers. We don't really want research. We could make the argument for upgrading history, because we will get a lot of status, and I think that is probably a good idea normally. However, because you're going to get so little study on this run, I want to save it all for engineering. I think that's more important. So we're just going to hold on to that research, which is going to hurt us in the short term, but hopefully will be the better choice long term. Okay, let's check out our entourages right away. And I think there is one here I wanted to look at. None of those. I would like to get... There is an athlete level here. But smashing, yes, okay. She has tenacious. She does not have smashing, and I'd like to give that to her right now. A couple reasons for this. First of all, it comes with a perk, which is very nice. Gives extra collect, which we always like whenever an athlete succeeds on the adventure wheel, which she will get to level 4 athlete eventually. It also finishes off our expert athlete before Rivalo can get to it, giving us a good amount of points there that he doesn't get to get. And now we should, before we go any further, buy at least 1 helper entourage for gold. There we go. I would love to be able to afford 2, but that's not probably going to happen. I'm going to save my insight. You know what? It's probably not the best plan, actually. It probably is smarter to spend the insight now to afford another merchant. Actually, we can. There we go. Now, if we had another 80 status, we could afford another one, but that's not likely to happen. We could if we spent all of our status, or all of our insight. Yeah. If we spent all of our insight, we could get the 80, but I don't want to spend it that way right now. Let's look at our item shop instead. We do have the machete for athlete stamina, but we just gave her smashing, and she learns stamina naturally, so I don't really want to use the money on it. Advanced Tools, however, is great for Molly if we're going to take her Engineer, which I'd like to. Additionally, we could go for an early attack item. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but I want to be kind of efficient with my gold, and we're just going to replace it eventually. On a run where you get a lot of gold, you're going to go for the highest level attack items at some point. So, yeah, I'm tempted to wait. Is there anything else here we might want? Quick Thinker, Nimble, and Escape Artist would be kind of nice for Dolores, and she doesn't have anything in her trinket slot at the moment, so that's worth considering. Beguiler, Seduction, and Beautiful Smile would definitely help Harry in getting more of those underdog upgrades to collect tokens. And you know what? That's probably the smarter way to go because it does help us in the longer term more. So now he's a level 2 Beguiler. At least it's something, right? Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Very good. So next time we will decide which expedition we're going to go on. I have no idea. We'll see. I'm going to end the episode now, go check on that treasure, because I'm kind of curious which treasure I was missing in the Saxons Kings, and if I thought it was the wrong one. So thank you very much for watching. I'll give you an update on that next time. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a like on it. That helps a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time in Renowned Explorers.